If you feel like you're being tricked during this full moon energy in Taurus, stay tuned because I'm going to share with you 4 major things that will help you embody the femininity and bring into form all the desires that you deserve. Hello, fellow flames. In case we haven't met, my name is Dr. Harmony, and I hope you live fearless, live loved, and live free. In this energy update for the full moon in Taurus on October 31st, 2020, there are 4 major things that is occurring within yourself so that you can embody and bring into form your divine femininity from a place of unison, creating what I'm kind of being shown as the goddess warrior. And so the unison of that, it doesn't really mean if you're male or female, divine masculine, divine feminine, meaning which energy you carry within a dynamic with your twin flame. It's more that we're creating unison within the division of our energies from within. And this is happening within to also help heal the collective. So I want to kind of just give you a little bit of the energy around this, and then we're going to jump into those 4 things. So first of all, I've mentioned October being a very impactful month, being that it is the once in a blue moon where we're having 2 full moons in the same month, one being on October 1st, one being on October 31st, with a new moon right smack in the middle on the 16th. A micro moon basically means that the moon is the furthest away from the earth during this timeline, but that's also because it's the furthest away, is creating this spotlight of taking this inward reflection towards your emotions, where we're also in the Scorpio energy, and that is helping you to connect to some really deep sensual side, your feminine side, even the sexual side, and be able to kind of, I'm seeing this also as coming into, like I've been using the word a lot lately about this enchantress. It's an energy that is mysterious, and it's waking us all up to embody our high priestess energy or our priest energy from the sacred temples in Egypt of Isis. And we're embodying this feminine self and creating this self-sovereignty from a feminine standpoint, which is really how we are taking back our power. So, you know, we're waking up this feminine inside that's been dormant, that hasn't been healed, both feminine and masculine. And then we're able to start to embody this sense of this graceful power. And this is helping us to become the leader of our own life. And we're needing to take back our power in so many things that we're being put through to do that. And what I will also say in that is this is falling on Halloween, the All Hallows Eve, and kind of trickery and mystery and a sense of being able to connect to, say, illusions, tune into the things that are false, the tricks, and to be able to turn them into your own basically truth. So these false illusions are truths that we've been programmed with, and you're converting that now into your own truth. And as we do this through this Taurus timeline, Taurus is like all about embodying and bringing heaven on earth, as we're integrating all these things from the feminine side, and that's helping us to embody a flow of abundance. You know, Taurus is all about the materialistic. And so, just make sure that you embrace this from your feminine side, basically. And before I jump into those 4 things, I want to remind you a couple things. One, if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure that you get subscribed in order to know whenever my videos go live each and every week. And also, I want you to know on October 31st from 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 11:59 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on October 31st, you can get a free copy of Twin Flame Codebreaker, my book, and I'll put the link below. So make sure to check that out. That's my treat to you. So one of the first things that's happening during this energy is you're going through another purge, and you're purging. And one of the main things I'm seeing being purged right now is cutting ties to the ancestral wounds and traumas. But the reason this is happening is so that you can let go of the way that you've experienced relationships with your family and your primary teachers of your parents, so that you can give birth to your new identity through a birthing process here and integrating this within your chakra system. And you're embodying this so that you're connecting to this energy that you are bringing in from this feminine side. And it's literally activating your DNA within your body so you can integrate this physically. You know, Taurus is basically is the earth energy, and it's about bringing it into form, as I mentioned. But it also can be one of the most stubborn energies. But the cool thing is we now have it on our side. And Taurus is kind of coming in to bring this full circle and say, you know, I've been resisting this femininity. So now I'm showing up and I'm willing to help do this from the feminine way. So it's having us then to revisit things that we need to purge, things we need to let go of, so we can then reflect on those things and go through another process of what we need to release. So I feel guided to go through each of the chakras of the lower self chakras of the 7 main chakras of the body and discuss kind of what's going on in that, because right now is a perfect time for you to do a chakra clearing, a chakra reprogramming, and a chakra updating. And I actually have a reprogram your and upgrade your chakra healing transmission. I'll put a link below because you can get it free. It's in a course that I have, but you can get that particular part of the course, that particular transmission, for free. I wanted to offer that to you because this is so impactful and so powerful that you go through and do another reboot of your chakras, basically. So when it comes to the root chakra, you know, being that this Taurus energy is in root, it's going to be so important that you begin to root your desires and root the desires you deserve. That's going to require that you come into this place of knowing that you're enough to be able to own your power, own your truth, but do it with no more wounds that are being triggered in the root. And that's why we're clearing those ancestral wounds again, so we can let go of that I am not worthy, I am not good enough. And we can move forward in a place that we know that we're more than enough to have what it is we desire. So we've known that, we've been working on that, but we're rooting it in now, and we're bringing that into form. So as we move upward into the sacral chakra with the Scorpio energy, that's very much like a sacred, sensual, sexual kind of enchantress that I mentioned. And so the sexual center, the sacral chakra, needs to be a combination of cleared of any past partners that may still be blocking you from connecting to your future partner or your twin flame. And therefore, make sure to be cleansing and clearing out, any sexual energy, because this is also our creative center. And if we're going to be creating, we need to be tapping into that feminine, sensual, intimate side of ourselves and giving ourselves permission to experience pleasure, giving ourselves permission to connect to that sensual side. And that calls for being present, and that calls for connecting to the body and the breath and bringing the brain into balance with your heart. And so Scorpio is coming in during this time to mysteriously bring us into this sensuality. So work on that chakra for that. And for the solar plexus chakra, as I mentioned, it's your power center, and it's about taking back the power. But we're not just doing it for, say, right now and where we're living and embodying it. We've been doing it from every lifetime. So we are now potentially revisiting things with people that are triggering the wounds of things beyond this dimension, beyond this reality, that's purging another layer of a past life or something that's blocking you subconsciously from being able to trust this process. Basically, to when you own this process and you trust this process, then you are empowered in this place that stops blocking your root chakra, your sacral chakra, from connecting to the heart chakra. So it's being able to trust what's happening around you, so you can let that energy, that kundalini energy from the root and the sacral, take place within your physical being and come on up into and connect and reroot into the heart, basically. So that means in the heart chakra, to be able to embody this, to be able to bring it up, the heart chakra is going through an expansion. It's going through, with this connection of the emotions, and Mercury has been retrograde, taking us deeper into the sense of communication and connecting with the Scorpio energy at the same time. And Mercury retrograde is in Libra, so it's like, that's all about, your heart and connecting to your heart and those desires and doing it from a place of love and compassion. And so it's going to require letting go and opening up all at the same time. So to let go, that means you have to be triggered from some of the emotions that you have suppressed, you have numbed, you have ran from, and you haven't felt before. And it can be, that's where everybody's here experiencing this shattered heart, in order to be able to wake up, to feel and embody these emotions. So you're collecting all of your fragments of what you've blocked yourself from feeling, so that the more pain you end up allowing yourself to feel, the more pleasure you can experience going forward. And then as your heart expands, it's moving on up into the throat, and now you start to be able to express your desires and express it from a place of your knowing and owning your power and your truth and your worth and your connection to your divinity. And a lot of people are being put to the test with people to express this in a way that it's taking back power. So this is where all these chakras are integrating. So there's like all these fragments that are kind of floating around that you might need to clear. That's why a whole reboot would be great of all the chakras. So again, make sure to check out that free reprogram and upgrading your chakras transmission that I have. But kind of like what this is also doing is in the third eye, it's helping you then begin to see things from a higher perspective. It's giving you greater awareness. And 75% of this process is waking up to the awareness of what things are and where you're at and what you desire and what you don't want anymore. And the minute you can kind of see those things, you don't shut off the vision. You don't shut off the light. You don't shut off the awareness. And I always say you don't unawaken. You don't unawoke, even is another way. I know it's not grammarly correct, but it's the way it kind of comes out to me sometimes for whatever reason. In the process of that, this then is anointing you with your crown consciousness to connect to the higher self, the higher soul, the higher 5 chakras, to bring in the divinity of the feminine Christ codes, of the connection to the ability to embody this feminine self, the feminine enchantress, the mystery school, the wisdom from all these ancient teachings that we know inside of us that we're trying to embody. And a lot of the divine feminine are moving into this goddess energy and this femininity and mystery schools and, all these practices. And they're a little bit fearful and moving in that direction because they feel like they need more extensive training. But what it is it's all inside of you, and it's your wisdom that's already there, and you're just waking up to what it is so that you can then embody that and become that. So this is like a perfect time to allow yourself to go through the purge of all of these chakras so that you can create the space to basically bring in what it is you desire and deserve. And the second thing that's happening during this Taurus Earth energy is we are planting. We're planting for the future of what's to come. So this is very important time to be able to look at what you want to be and what you want to have, but to do it for long term. Knowing that, in this time that you plant right now, in 6 months from now, come spring, these things are going to be coming to fruition. And so because we're on this bandwidth and people are doing all of these things from a place of letting go to a place of upgrading and sort of like embodying and teetering between two sides of their old self and their new identity. And then we have people that have already kind of rebirthed or are in their new identities and are now blossoming on the other side, holding space and kind of loving life right now in a place of this freedom. Then basically in all of this spectrum, you're going to be, as I said, happy. All these things are happening at once, but wherever you're moving across this bandwidth and this timeline, all of those things can be happening at the same time, is basically what I'm saying. So if we're talking about planting for your future of what you want to be and what you want to have, then you got to create space for that future. So in this energy, it's going to be a really good time to sit down and do some reflection on, first maybe do this chakra reboot and reprogramming and upgrading and, do this transmission and cleanse and clear. And in that, then see what's came to your awareness from your reflections of that and make a list of what you still need to release. This is going to allow you to create the space to also bring in what it is you want in your future and give you more clarity to know what it is, because a lot of times so many people are split on two sides, two things, two ways, and this is kind of the in-between that I said. You're half in your old self and half in your future self, and you're seeing both sides of that, and it's a teetering effect of out with the old, in with the new, that's converging and transitioning, and you're only in the transition of that. But you need to then take this time to look at it from this perspective I'm saying and realize I'm not going backwards, I'm only letting go. And what do I need to let go of? And make a list of that and prioritize that list. And then also from there, take that list and then look at that list from a perspective of taking ownership of letting go and knowing that you created that and you can create something different. So what actions do you need to take to, one, let go of what is not working or what's no longer serve your purpose? And also, what actions do you need to take to become your new self, to embody that new identity, to live from a place of femininity, and to live from that graceful power, and to allow yourself to have the space to bring in what it is you desire and what it is you deserve, being planting seeds in what those things are that is going to be of your future. The third major thing that's going on during this Taurus energy is you are growing, evolving, and expanding in this process. And so, you're purging, letting go, you're planting new things, but the things that you have going, as I said in that expansion, you're growing and it's evolving. And so you're being put to the test. You're going deep to make sure that you've mastered the process of letting go, of trusting, of being able to implement your new ways, your new actions, your new thoughts. It's giving you the ability to stop abandoning yourself, which is self-love, and to choose yourself and to choose to take responsibility for your needs, your actions, your thoughts. And one of the things I'm really seeing with this femininity energy right now is you're being asked to slow down and listen. Listen to the inner authority, the inner intuition. It's taking you really deep into this powerful place inside, but the place inside means you're being put on pause. And this is like a reset, and you're resting in the process to show you that you don't have to do your old way and your old masculine way of getting in there and taking charge and taking control. That truly in the growth process of this, if you're to have this abundance and the materialistics of the new way, you have to embody that, and you have to do it from a new feminine self, of a feminine way to do things, again, whether you're masculine or you're feminine. And so this is forcing you to take a look within deeper and seeing what is real. Take off the illusions, take off the mask, as I said. What is it that is creating authenticity in your life? Where can you be raw? Where can you be vulnerable? Where can you express yourself? You know, I got to tell you, I just did my deepest, most authentic, most real, most live, impactful release of my own depths of my past, that maybe on one end you could say haunting you. So, you know, it's a good time in this season. We're letting go what's haunting us. And it's about the twin flame journey and the process of that. It begins at conception. And I talk about my son, who just recently married his twin flame, and our journey together, and his conception and the process of how I was going to have an abortion. And I share my story on that. And I've never shared that story. I always knew it would come out, but it was about me getting deeper. This is what I'm trying to tell you. I went, you know, it wasn't that I was never hiding it technically. It just never was time to come out. And so, you know, this is a good example. I'm saying myself going deeper in to be more vulnerable, to share more, to be seen more. And so many people are so afraid to share who they are as a twin flame, to share their journey, in fear of what nobody else around them is going to get them or believe them. But what you don't realize is your story, your experience, it has a purpose in it. And the purpose is to share that pain and to be an inspiration for others. And that becomes a service to humanity that you're individually doing to help the collective. So when you can show up and speak your truth and stop hiding who you are and allow yourself to grow in this process, grow outward and then also grow inward. Grow inward, connecting to the deepest side as you come in this expansion and share and shine at your greatest and highest version of you. So this is allowing us to connect to and bring the heaven in form on earth and become the expression of who we are. So the fourth thing, major thing that's happening to you as all these things are happening is you're blossoming at the same time. So to just kind of recap, that is, you're purging on one side of this, you're planting what you're to become on the other side of this, then you're basically growing in the process, which is a transition of who you've been to who you're becoming. And then you're blossoming as you're unfolding into this new identity of who you are. And with Taurus, you're bringing it into form. And with the connection and the alignment of all the other aspects of this and putting it all together, it's again giving birth to your feminine self. And so in the blossoming itself is feminine. Okay? So we've planted the seed, and a lot of work and divine intelligence inside that seed took place to mutate in such a way that it took root and it connected to the earth. And then, you know, we nurture it and we water it, and then that seed then starts to go to work and create, basically, you know, come up out of the ground, and it becomes the stalk of some sort. And from there, it blooms. Right? And it blossoms. But that's the last part that we see is the beauty, right? And if it's a rose, in that case, that rose has thorns, and, you know, it's a protection mechanism that is helping to protect that beauty. And we've went through a lot of thorns in order to become this beautiful expression of the divine. And so when you blossom, that expanding process is really nothing more to do. You're allowing it to happen. The opening up is effortless. The work has been done. Now is the time to just be. And so this this Taurus energy of abundance, even connecting to the financial connection of finances and earthly things, is helping us learn to do these things without guilt, to have these things without guilt, down to finances. A lot of people's finances are also going to be affected, both letting go of what old patterns with it and also changing your mindset to a heart set of, being able to create and experience abundance in the form of abundance is everything. But, Taurus is a lot about finances. So, you could be having a lot of financial shifts going on and allowing more abundance of money into your life. But you also have to purge and let go of some persecution of your gifts to that, your connection to poverty vows, letting go of guilt, being open to receive, and to realize that in this being of allowing things in, you're gracefully doing it. You're giving gratitude now for it showing up, and the only work to do is just to be in grace and to be in this graceful power of who you are, what you desire, what you want to be, and to know that really if there really was work here to do, is that you get to choose. You get to choose your timeline. You get to choose in meeting which reality you want to live in, which bandwidth do you want to be on, versus do you want to continue to dig up purging, or do you want to be blossoming? I have so many clients that are coming in thinking they still got to dig up all this crap, and you would be digging for the rest of your eternal life if you don't eventually choose to say, I choose to move forward. Twin flame journey. I choose to see my twin as a gift. I choose to see that my twin has helped me evolve to the point where I've found myself. I'm finding love. This is a universal gift. They're giving me abundance in this. I'm grateful for them instead of blaming them. And I'm going to choose that all my thoughts, feelings, emotions, and actions come into the unison of oneness, all moving in the same direction. And I'm going to choose that frequency to be love or above for thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions. And doing this will allow you to propel and to, I always talk about the lotus flower, how it takes forever and the roots to build, long time, and it's all in the mud, and you can't even see the roots building. You can't even see how many roots are going down there. We've been rooting all of this energy, all of this time, and all of this journey. And if you're on this bandwidth that you've been blossoming, you're, like me, I said, you're going into the deepest, most vulnerable, most feminine, most sacred, most sensual, most connected to your enchantress. And if you're purging, then you're on the timeline in the collective energy that says you don't have to put yourself through that anymore. You can choose to jump ahead because the work has been done collectively. You can choose your vibration. You can choose to take the hall pass, the skip some things, but only you can choose that. And so it can be as quick or as painful, or as pleasurable as you like. So, here's, a little thing for you. The tricks may be coming up for you that are illusions, but I challenge you to choose to let go of what's not serving you. Choose to create greater consciousness. Choose to take back your power. And most importantly, in the treat for all of this, treat yourself with love, compassion. Give yourself the gift of being able to take the hall pass. Give yourself the ability to open up, expand, and receive, and to connect to that sensual side of your intuition and your ability to become the leader of your life so that you can align with your greatest potential and be able to live your best life that's you desire and you deserve. All right? So I send you so much love, and happy Halloween and happy full moon, And make sure you check out all the resources that I've mentioned below, all the ways you can glow forward with me. And also let me know how this is impacting you. And if your feminine enchantress is wanting to come out and play like mine is, or if you're in a place of, you know, feeling like you're being tricked and this is all a spooky place right now, let me know where you're at in this bandwidth, because I'd really like to see how many people are in what spectrum of the bandwidth I'm talking about. Okay? Loads of love. I'll see you next week. And may you always face your fears, find freedom, and experience self-feminine sovereignty. Namaste.